This is Religion in the News, sponsored by Wish TV, in cooperation with the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis.
Good morning. Welcome to Religion in the News. I'm J.R. Ryder, and joining me today is Carol Sissom. Today's show is dedicated to our sponsor, the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis. Our guests talk about Mission Day, the Mission Day supporters, and the Centennial Build Project. All of this is a part of the Church Federation's Centennial 2012 celebrations. In January of 2011, Religion in the News celebrated its 52nd anniversary on the airwaves, a major milestone for the creators, the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis. In 2012, the Church Federation will celebrate another major milestone as their centennial celebrations memorialize 100 years of service to Indianapolis. Two local pastors are here today in our first segment, here to talk about Mission Day. Pastor James Carter of Oasis of Hope Baptist Church and Pastor James White Jr., Pastor Clarence White Jr. of Christ the King Christian Church. Welcome to Religion in the News.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you on the program this morning.
Thank you, JR.
This is one very exciting initiative that's taken place.
Yeah.
The whole centennial celebrations with the Church Federation, and local churches have embraced the vision. And so we're here today to find out what it is that your church sees with this particular initiative and why your involvement. So, Pastor, I'll start with you.
Well, thank you. One of the things that we are excited about is from the standpoint, the opportunity from a variety of levels of church involvement with regard to the churches in the Martinsville-Brightwood area. And additionally, approximately 40,000 delegates coming in from the Missions Board of the National Baptist Convention. Lots of local organizations getting involved with this, Habitat for Humanity and several more. And so there's an opportunity for lots of stakeholders in the community to have a stake in this and making a lasting difference in the Martinsville-Brightwood area. Absolutely.
Pastor Clarence, what does Mission Day mean to you?
Well, first of all, it means giving back. And I've shared with my congregation, they're very excited about the opportunity to give back because some of us don't have a ready avenue to give back. And so being able to partner and unite with these other churches and Habitat for Humanity, which we want to get more involved in, and to be able to do something in the community, concrete, because we look at it as a partnership with our Church Federation, with all the churches involved, and also with the community.
Absolutely. Now, the Church Federation is so large in scope, of course, 100 years. Sure. There's a lot of events, activities, and milestones that have taken place during those 100 years. Mm-hmm. They're responsible for a lot of the clergy that we have in town,
right.
Dealings with some of the sports activities. So how did you actually first learn about the Church Federation and their 100-year celebration?
Well, our particular congregation is a member of the Church Federation, and we've had the opportunity to know personally Dr. Angelique Walker Smith for years. And she was telling us, under her very capable leadership, that there were some things coming down the pike. And so as a result of that, and then Dr. Angelique Walker Smith being involved in some of the other community activities, Community Resurrection Partnership, she was bringing us along and feeding us bits of information, telling us that this event is going to take place over the next year or so.
So, Pastor Clarence, why then is that important for churches to be involved?
Well, I believe it's important for churches to be involved because I believe the Bible teaches that the New Testament church, the actual mission is outside the church. And by being involved, not only are we showing that we're involved with, that we care about individuals' lives, but also the quality of their lives.
You both of you had mentioned your congregations. Pastor, tell us a little bit about your church and kind of your vision and how that fits in with what the Federation is doing.
Thanks. I serve at Oasis of Hope Baptist Church, where our very capable pastor, Frank Alexander. And I think there is a great marriage of core values between Church Federation, Habitat for Humanity, the Centennial Build. It's just all of those things are intermarried extremely well. This particular bill impacts how they will provide housing for those who may be underserved. There may be single heads of household and the elderly. And so again, and as Pastor Smith said, that we need to as well be inclusive of every person in our community, and then to take our ministry outside of our physical walls.
Absolutely. How about for you? Tell us a little bit about your congregation, your church, and
Okay, well, our congregation is relatively young. We'll be celebrating our 9th year in October of this year. I've been there about 4.5 years. And we are also partners with the Church Federation, and the Church Federation has been very instrumental in our summer camp program. We ran a summer camp program, and they've helped fund the program where we minister to anywhere from 35 to 50 kids a day that lasts 8 weeks. And here again, just being able to partner with them, and that's part of the vision of our church, to be able to do more in the community as far as ministering, re-entry programs.
Sure.
They're bowling right down our alley, you know, so.
So how important would you recommend to other churches that are not members of the Church Federation? How important is that membership in your
Great
opinion?
point, because I think one of the things that we are really having to attempt to ramp up is getting the information out that this opportunity for service is available. And we would like to say that churches, there's approximately 200 churches in the Martindale-Brightwood area. Some of varying sizes, some having members as few as 20, but we think the thing that's important is every dollar which is donated specifically from the church, there will be an automatic match. So our intent would be is to cause these churches, even though they're small, to realize that whatever they can do in the way of donations and the volunteering would be greatly appreciated and goes to make a positive difference.
Right. I would have to agree wholeheartedly, not to be presumptuous, but I feel that any church that hears anything about what's going on, and the churches that do know should be sharing the word, we're somewhat obligated to become a part of this and do what we can do.
Absolutely.
And if we all come together,
Sure.
then
Things we can
everybody's
do.
needs can be met.
Well, I want to make sure we put up some information on the, I think we have a flyer on the Centennial Build, specifically on Mission Day, so we'll pop that information up. I know that's coming up in June, so I'm sure we'll probably be seeing you again between now and that time, if not definitely in June.
Yes.
And pastors, really appreciate you being our guest this morning on Religion in the News.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much.
There's more about Mission Day still ahead when we talk to local partners of the Mission Day Project. That story's next.
Welcome back. We are continuing our discussion on Mission Day. And here to join me on this segment are Pastor Bruce Farr of Overcoming Church and Jamar Barnett of Martindale-Brightwood Community Development Corporation and Jim Morris of Habitat for Humanity. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And I am just so excited to learn about all of you and your organizations, and that you're all coming together for this Mission Day. So I guess we'll start with you.
Okay, I'm representing Martindale-Brightwood Community Development Corporation. And Martindale-Brightwood CDC, as we call it, is we want to be involved in anything for the positive forward movement of the Martindale-Brightwood community. We provide affordable housing in the neighborhood. We have a foreclosure prevention specialist. We have an employment specialist. And we also provide homeowner repair for people in the neighborhood who otherwise can't afford to do it on their own.
So what do you do 9 to 5 when you're out there, get your hands in everything? What are you up to?
You know what? With all of those different programs, it's so much. I also help with my role at the CDC is community organizing. And so I kind of spread the news about different events that's going on in the community. And I also assist our different specialists in all of those departments, making sure that they get their job accomplished.
I was
most
curious
efficient
what
way.
you said about the foreclosure specialist. What's that about?
Well, it's a foreclosure prevention specialist that we have, and it's a whole team of people led by Mr. Howard Washington. And what they do is they help people if they think that they may be getting behind on their bills. It helps them kind of work deals out with their banks or with their lenders to come to a good solution of where they're able to stay in their home or able to transition out of their home, do a short sale, or whatever the best plan would be for them.
And what do you think about Mission Day?
I think Mission Day is awesome. People in the Martindale-Brightwood are have been serving for a while. As long as I've been in the community working with the CDC, I've seen people that have been dedicated for years, and this has really given a good opportunity for people to get out and really be a part of something positive in their community.
It's exciting.
Yes.
And Pastor,
Yes.
tell us about your church and your commitment.
Okay. Overcoming Church, well, we've been in the Martindale-Brightwood community now for about 15 years. And our focus in mission really is about going beyond the walls. I'm also president of Community Resurrection Partnership, and it's the collaboration of all the churches in the Martindale-Brightwood area. And what we do is we find ways in which we can work together to go out and touch the lives of our residents. We do faith walks, we do something called Angel Food Ministries. We have a re-entry program for people that are returning out of incarceration to help to reduce the recidivism rate. So this partnership with the CDC, with Habitat, is an awesome opportunity for us to create a sense of synergy in that one person can't do it all.
Now, I'm curious about the program for the inmates, the recidivism. Tell us about that.
The program is actually, it's called Healing Communities. And it's a social network, a faith social network that really kind of helps walk alongside the person as they're getting out, hold them accountable, help provide them with resources, and basically help them to get reintegrated into society. But it also helps us to be able to connect and understand how we can grow as well, because it's not just helping them grow, we grow in the process. Victims that have been affected by crime have an opportunity to grow as well.
And I know you've been a pastor how long?
I've been pastoring now for 18 years.
Wow, awesome. And Mr. Morris, tell us about you.
Well, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Indianapolis is focused on affordable housing. That's our core strength. Transforming neighborhoods is a part of what we do with affordable housing to serve the families. And this moment, this time for us, the centennial, the fact that we actually turn 25 next year within Indianapolis, those two things, Pastor mentioned synergies. This is exactly how we like to work. We realize it sort of takes a village to transform a neighborhood, and we realize that Habitat alone would not be able to do that. So partnering is what we feel is most important. And Martindale-Brightwood was, this became a time that we knew we could come together and do what we do best with what the community does best, whether it's the CDCs. We have a history of working with several CDCs around the city, and this was just a great moment to bring all that together into one community.
Now, how long has Habitat for Humanity been around?
We've been in Indianapolis, next year will be 25 years. So we'll have exceeded 400 homes this year. We'll build our 400th home towards the fall of this year.
Now, I know we just have like 1 minute left, but I want to ask each of you the same thing. If you had one prayer request for Mission Day, what would it be?
It would be that somebody in the community was able to see the service that was going on, and maybe that would encourage them to get involved in their community also.
What about you?
Following up on that, I think this would be a fantastic time to say, God, use this as a catalyst. Use this to make a wave and a ripple effect for a larger transformation.
And Pastor?
Mine would be that every church would see that regardless of their size, they can be a part of leaving a legacy that long after we're gone, that legacy will live on.
Awesome, awesome. Back to you, JR.
Thanks, Carol. Coming up next, our guests talk about an art gallery exhibit on homelessness. This is just another part of the Centennial celebrations when we come back.